Happy New Year, everybody. Uh, Today I'm going to talk about Arsenal 1, Manchester City 2. Several ways to look at this game, and I'm going to try and do as good a job as possible in about in less than 10 minutes, hopefully 6 or 7. So, Arsenal played an incredible game. I know it's hard to say that after a loss if you didn't see the game, but they played a really, really good game. And it was a case for me of the best team losing in this game. Manchester City had a lot of the ball, so people may think then yes, that means the ball possession. They dominated the game in terms of possession, but it took them getting a penalty in the 57th minute or so to get their first shot on target. 75 minutes into the game, they still had that one shot on target. And Arsenal were playing from 59 minute on with 10 men. So Arsenal had control of this game even when they didn't dominate possession. We saw several things from Arsenal today that I'm really, really happy about. I can go ahead and talk about the referee and the inconsistency of giving one VAR decision and not asking the referee to look at the second opportunity for a VAR situation with the Odegaard thing. We can do that. I can talk about the 2 minutes of madness that lost Arsenal the game ultimately because, when you're playing against teams like Manchester City, you need a perfect 90-minute performance, but you need a little bit of luck as well. And I think the second part is what was missing for Arsenal was a little bit of luck. I think they did the near perfect 90 minutes, but a little bit of luck is what eluded them. And here's why I'm talking about luck. Martinelli scores one of those couple of chances. There was a couple of half chances or so that he created in the first half for himself. So I won't blame him for that. But the at 1-1, the clearance from Nathan Ake, with the goal at his mercy. Martinelli, you give that to Martinelli 10 more times, he scores maybe 8 or 9 out of 10 times. So there was no luck there. And then the referee also happened to be weirdly positioned for that play. And then the other part is Gabriel, if Arsenal players are to be believed, Gabriel asked the referee, why did you go look at the screen for one and not the other? Which is the question we're all asking. The referee gave me a yellow card for that, not for stomping on the penalty spot. That was Ramsdale. Ramsdale is the one who, you see on the replays, is the one who was stomping on the penalty spot. So luck is what maybe escaped Arsenal a little bit because on a different day, Martin Odegaard gets the penalty. On a different day, Gabriel Martinelli scores that goal. On a different day, Gabriel doesn't get a stupid first yellow card for asking a question about the consistency, right? No foul language, according to the assistant manager, was used, and it was just a ref. Why did you look at one and not the other? So I think there was a little bit of unlucky element to the way Arsenal lost this game. I don't want to ruin my excitement about what I saw in this game by talking too much about the referee. So I'm going to just put it on luck because it's a little bit easier for me to process. And we can blame the referee, but I think Gabriel still needed to have done a bit better. After having gotten a stupid yellow card initially, he should have maybe known to control his emotions. And the assistant manager was honest enough to say that too, that he needed to have maybe done a bit better in controlling his actions from that point forth. I liked a lot of what I saw from Arsenal's midfield. I thought Thomas Partey had a going away party performance that was going to leave us feeling like we miss him in the next 5 or so games that he's not going to be around for. A couple of those will be cup games, of course, 2 semifinals against Liverpool, and then there's going to be the Spurs game and then the FA Cup game against Forest. So there's going to be at least 4 games for sure. We don't know how far Ghana will go in the AFCON. So he had a really good performance today. He made more ball recoveries in the first half alone than anybody in midfield, and he was just Rolls Royce today. Like, we saw the Thomas Partey that I think Arsenal fans want to see week in and week out, but that player is not going to be there week in and week out because it's the Premier League. There's a physicality element to the way these players perform, and they're being asked to do a lot. In Partey's case, he's also been injured quite a bit. So that was one thing that I liked. But I also liked Granit Xhaka, even though Xhaka is the guy who gives the opportunity for the penalty for City. I like his game overall outside of that moment. That moment, it could have gone one way or the other. I'm not going to complain about that being given, even though Bernardo went looking for it. We see players engineer contact a lot. I've seen Lacazette do it for us several times, and we get the pen. So I'm not going to complain about that. What I will say is that the VAR was not consistent in checking one and not checking the other. And that's not on the referee on the field, because the referee on the field didn't give both, initially. He didn't give either of those pens. It was the guy at Stockley Park or whatever that place is called, where the guy on TV watches. It was that guy who told Stuart Atwell, hey, go have a look at this. But I don't blame the fans on at the ground, because they are the other thing I'm going to talk about. So Partey was my favorite thing, and then the overall team performance was good. I mean, you would go a long way to find a better performance in this game. But what was really, really exciting for me was how the fans stood behind the team the entire time. And then the other thing that was exciting was Arsenal's off the ball work. Arsenal were going to win or lose this game with what they did when they didn't have the ball. And it was interesting how they mixed, like, when City were able to play through the press, which was really good pressing from Arsenal. When City were able to play through the press, Arsenal were also very, very good in the mid to low block. Several times we actually robbed City of the ball, and then one of the times was when Martinelli beats Cancelo and runs past the covering defender and goes all the way through, ending in a very kind of like a short, come cross situation with his left foot, where he ran from our half, really hard in transition. And then on the right hand side with Bukayo Saka as well, who had at the upper hand on Nathan Ake. So overall, I think Arsenal's off the ball identity is coming more and more into, it's becoming more and more fruitful in terms of like where we are winning the ball. Even the time where they almost scored an own goal, like, it was ball pressure from our front line. And I think Martinelli brings that to the team, and Saka, as well as Odegaard behind a Lacazette. That's a really, really good mix of what's happening here. And it's very, very clear now that this is, I guess, Arteta's first 11. I feel sorry for ESR, because if we could play with 12 players, he'd be in the team. And maybe there will be time, where he gets rotated in and one of the other guys behind Laka, or Laka himself, gets set down for a while, because it comes in waves. Form comes in waves throughout the season. We're playing with young players, and I think this is where we're showing some growing pains. With Gabriel, having that moment of rush of blood to the head, and we let those few bad moments in the game live in our heads a little bit too long. But I'm very, very encouraged with what I'm seeing with Arsenal. They are just, at the moment, flying, and that home crowd is in love with this team. And it's beautiful to see, because those of us who are watching from afar are falling in love heavily with this team as well. And one last thing, shout outs to Mikel Arteta and his coaching team, because they are really reviving our football club. And I think it's clear for all to see. Even the people who are Arteta out, you kind of have to give him that there's clarity more than anything else. There's clarity at Arsenal, and this is good to see. So anyway, Cheers.